Welcome to the class of GST. I am Anj Gupta from Section A, Semester 6, BCom Honors, Shahid Bhagat Singh College. Today we'll be covering the topic of impact of GST on various sectors in the Indian economy. GST was introduced in the Indian Constitution through the 101st Constitutional Amendment Act 2016. After the enforcement of GST, many sectors face some positive effects as well as some negative effects. Let's study the topic in detail. The enforcement of the tax was for the long term benefit. There are very few sectors that received an immediate benefit from the implementation of goods and services tax. The long term benefit requires the patience of citizens. Where one sector in the country faces a positive aspect, on the other hand, the other sector faces the negative. It is very important to know how and to whom the GST had impacted. It is required that the authority first understands the concept, then it will be easy for the citizens to understand the concept of one nation, one tax. Impact on export and import sector. Before the enforcement of goods and services tax, export and import were governed by the service tax, value added tax, excise duty, and customs duty. These were imposed on the import and export goods and services. When goods and service tax was introduced, all these taxes were merged into one. But the basic customs duty continues to work on import bills. Impact of GST on import. When any goods and services are imported, then it is the duty of the importer to pay IGST and customs duty. Integrated Goods and Services Tax, which is IGST, is a tax that is imposed on the supply of goods and services which take place interstate. IGST Act governed these transactions. IGST applies to the supply of goods and services which are imported to India as well as which are exported by India. Now, there is an important note. The import of goods and services are interstate supplies, and therefore, a person is responsible for paying the integrated goods and services and basic customs duty. Integrated goods and Integrated Goods and Services Tax is substituted by all the taxes which were governing the imports of goods and services before GST. Those taxes were Special Additional Duty, which was SAD, and Countervailing Duty, which was CVD. IGST, which is applied to the imported goods and services, is based on the rate of tax which is applicable to the imported goods in India. Importer of goods has the power to claim all the input tax credit of IGST which is paid by him on the import of goods and services. But in such case, tax credit on the paid custom duty will not be obtainable and the cost will be borne by the importer. Impact of GST on export. The goods and services which are imported in the country are interstate supplies. Therefore, a person who is importing the goods and services is liable to pay the integrated goods and services tax. It will be paid on reverse charge basis by the importer of goods and supplies. There shall be no imposition of goods and services tax on the goods and services which are exported. However, then there is export of raw materials and input of those goods which are exempted from the goods and services tax. Then the person exporting the raw material and input are liable to pay the tax. Exporters may claim the integrated goods and services tax and other taxes which are paid by them in inputs. They may claim IGST when it is paid by the exporter in the input tax credit scheme. Now, when goods and services tax was introduced in India, it relaxed the export tax. Relaxation of tax on export helped in decreasing the product cost. There is also a relaxation in the availability of input credits on all related services. Ultimately, this will help the country to grow in economic sector as the export industry. Impact of GST on MSMEs. Goods and services tax has a huge impact on medium and small enterprises. Business owners of the small and medium enterprises were under the liability to pay various taxes. They had to approach numerous departments to accomplish the work or documentation related to the tax. Owners of small and medium enterprises were under the liability to pay the tax up to 32%, which was the total tax charge or collected by central government and the state government. When GST was imposed or implemented, the MSMEs are now accountable to pay 18 to 22% of tax, which is much lessened to the previous tax. Also, the owner of MSMEs do not have to visit the distinct departments for the purpose of paying the various taxes. Impact of GST on real estate. The imposition of goods and service tax has some positive impact on the property and real estate. Property buyers are now in profit due to the GST. Here is a list of some inputs which are used in buildings and the difference between before the GST was charged and after the GST was charged. So before the GST was charged, there used to be value added tax, which is VAT. So first, iron pillars and iron rods. VAT used to be 20%, now the GST is 18%. Fly ash bricks and sand lime bricks. VAT used to be 6% and GST is 5%. Cement. VAT used to be 20 to 24%, now GST is 28%. Ceramic tiles, plaster, wallpaper, wall fittings, paint. VAT used to be 20 to 25%, but now the GST is 18%. Positive impact on buyers. Goods and service tax have some positive impact on the prices of the property. It makes the tax system easy for all the buyers. Before goods and services tax, buyers were accountable to pay the tax which depends upon the property's construction status and the state in which the property is located. Buyers were also liable to pay VAT, stamp duty, service tax and registration charges when they buy the under construction property. But when they buy the property which was ready or completed, they were liable to pay registration charges and stamp duty. The state had the power to levy the stamp duty, VAT and registration charges, and all figures of tax differ from state to state. Central has the power to levy the service tax and it was charged upon the construction. This makes the tax scheme very much complicated for all buyers, but GST had made this simpler. Under GST regime, tax is charged upon all under construction properties at 12% of the value of the property. It does not include the registration charges and the stamp duty. There was no imposition of indirect tax on the sale of property which is ready to move. That is why there is no applicability of GST on sale of the ready to move properties. Positive impact on builders. Before the enforcement of GST, a developer or builder had to pay VAT, central excise duty and entry taxes, which was the state domain. The state was collecting those taxes on the cost of construction material. Developer and builder were also liable to pay the tax at 15% for services such as approval charges, architect fees, labor, legal character, etc. After GST, there was not much variation in the construction costs. In addition, logistics reduced cost, which led to a lessening of the expenses. To increase the profit, the input tax credit is helpful. Impact of GST on banking sector. With the imposition of GST, the banking sector became more expensive. Previously, the tax on all services relating to the bank was 15%, But after the enforcement of GST, the tax rate on all the banking services were increased to 18%. These are some of the impacts of goods and services tax on banking sector. Each branch of banks must have separate registration. After the implementation of GST, every bank is required to obtain a separate registration for all branches within them. Before GST, all employees working in the banks were getting out of the relief mode because there was a concept of single centralized registration for all the branches of the bank. It was a complex task to be done in a country like India because there were excessive number of banks having a more excessive number of branches prevailing in India. Transaction between banks is not free. After the implication of goods and services tax, the money transaction, whether it was internally or externally between the two different banks, were done by imposing the tax. Before GST, it was free. Dependency upon CGST and SGST. Under GST, there are two different kinds of taxes prevailing in India. First, Central Goods and Services Tax, which is CGST, and second is State Goods and Services Tax, which is SGST. CGST is the domain of government and SGST is the domain of state government. With the advent of these two types of GST, the whole code or protocol of banks and relating sector is altered in a stipulation of the service which they provide to. Impact on iron and steel. Tax laws relating to the iron and steel before GST. Three types of taxes were applied or imposed on the manufacturing of iron and steel. Those were 12.5% of excise duty, 5% of the average value added tax, and 2% of central sales tax. When we see there is a total of 19.5% net tax which was imposed upon the iron and steel. If there was an article which is manufactured of iron and steel was charged at the rate of 19.5%. The rate of tax charged was similar to the tax rate for manufacturing iron and steel. In Punjab, the VAT was 2.5% for the substances or commodities which are of iron and steel, and the pattern of tax charge was not the same in whole India. Impact after GST was imposed. Materials like iron and steel are very useful and utilized in everyday life. Goods and services tax has a positive impact on the iron and steel and material made up of these. Kitchen utensils that are useful in day-to-day life become cheaper than the previous. Utensils like pan, stainless steel cooker, and many more are now charged with 12% of GST. It is charged 7.5% less than the current tax laws were. There are benefits for all steel related companies as there is a 5% low tax rate on all large inputs used by them under GST. These inputs are iron ore, coal, etc. All the industries relating to the iron and steel are getting benefits with the introduction of the GST. There is an expectation that it will help in furthermore benefits by reducing or lowering the input tax and logistics. Impact on entertainment industry. Before the enforcement of GST, the entertainment section paid many taxes. They were not limited to one tax. They paid the central tax, state tax, and also tax imposed by the local authorities. But when GST was imposed, they were liable to pay only one tax. Before the implication of GST. Before the enforcement of the Goods and Services Tax Act 2017, entertainment tax was imposed on different entertainment services. VAT and service tax were imposed in various services of the entertainment, that is, nutriment provided in the cinemas. The VAT charge was 14.5% and the service tax charge was 15%. The entertainment sector was enjoying a subsidy of 60% on the service tax, and therefore they were required to pay the service tax at the rate of 6%, that is 40% or 15%. The entertainment sector was paying the 20.5% tax along with entertainment tax. After the implication of GST. After the enforcement of GST, all the scattered taxes upon the entertainment sector was subsumed in one, that is GST. Goods and services tax ranges between 18% to 28%. The tax rate is totally dependent upon the kind of entertainment services. Things within the 18% GST are circus, television and DTH services, theatre, and movie tickets. Tickets costing up to 100 rupees have GST 12%, and tickets costing more than 100 rupees have 18% GST. Now, things within the 28% GST: racing, casinos, amusement parks, movie events and festivals, and sporting events. Impact of GST on consumers. GST has given an overall profit to the entertainment sector. The tax on movie ticket was 30%, and there was 20.5% of VAT along with the service tax on food which a person buys from the theatre. But after GST, a tax imposed upon the ticket was 28%, and tax on the food in the cinema is 18%. But here we see different results relating to the impact of GST on the entertainment sector. Reason for various consequences are low tax on entertainment service in some states, no tax on entertainment services in some states. When GST was imposed in these states, they suffered a rise in the tax on the entertainment sector. However, it was low for those states where the tax on entertainment services was high. But if we compare, GST was low in comparison to tax system, VAT and service tax which was prevailing before GST. State also has the power to include or charge local body tax in addition to tax which was discussed above under GST. Local bodies also have the power to impose a further charge under GST on the entertainment services in their respective area. Impact of GST on owner of entertainment services. According to the GST regime, the owner of entertainment service is also liable to pay the tax for services in entertainment. They will also pay the tax on sale of tickets, food, etc. Impact of GST on hotel and tourism. Income generated from the hotel and tourism plays a vital role in Indian economy. They help in increasing the GDP of India. This is why every state government keeps on promoting the tourism of the state by various advertisements. Rate of GST differs for the hotels because of the tariffs. If the tariffs range rupees 1000 and less, then there will be no GST. If the tariff ranges between rupees 1000 and rupees 2500, then GST will be 12%. If the tariff ranges between rupees 2500 to rupees 7500, then GST will be 18%. If the tariff is more than rupees 7500, then GST will be 28%. There is 5% of GST on the person who operates the tour. But there is an expectation that as GST has lowered the tax rate on the operators of the tour, the price of the tour packages will also show the down graph. Impact of GST on textile sector. GST has shown its positive impact upon the textile and ready-made garments. They are benefited from this new scheme of tax. Some of the benefits which goods and services tax provide to the textile sector are The input credit system or chain is now broken. The price for manufacturing of goods is now lower in comparison to the previous tax regime. Input credit is now granted in the capital goods. After the implementation of GST, all ready-made garments which range up to rupees 1000 are exempted from the terms and clause of GST, and where the garments are branded ranging above rupees 1000, then 12% of tax will be levied upon them. Now let us sum up some advantages of GST. GST substituted VAT. It is a levy upon the manufacture, consumption, and the sale of goods and services in India. It substituted or merged all the indirect taxes which were imposed by the central government and the state government on goods and services. GST focuses on a long term benefit. Many sectors benefited due to this new tax. Some of the advantages of GST are: first, goods and services tax merged all the indirect taxes into one. This made the tax system easier and simpler for all service and business. Second, companies that are providing the services and having the turnover less than rupees 20 lakh are exempted under GST for paying the tax. But in the case of northeast states, the lower limit for the purpose of exempting GST is rupees 10 lakh. This small scale business may ultimately escape the long process of tax. Third, companies who have the turnover up to 75 lakh rupees under GST scheme may take a benefit of the composition scheme, and through this they have to pay only 1% GST on their turnover. Fourth, GST reduces the sale which is done without a receipt and also lowers the rate of corruption. Fifth, tax on goods such as cars, smartphone, etc. is lessened, and now tax is up to 2% or 7.5%. Sixth, this scheme had helped in minimizing the evasion of tax. Seventh, the logistic cost has been reduced by the GST. Border taxes are eliminated and inconsistency relating check post was determined, which ultimately reduced the logistic cost. Finally, goods and services tax has created a liability and regulation towards the sector which is unorganized, for example, textile industries. Some of the disadvantages of GST are: first, GST has made the transactional fees between financial sector more costly or expensive. Transactional fees has been increased from 15% to 18%. Second, GST has made the premiums of the insurance more costly and pricey. Third, it has shown some negative impact on real estate market. Due to GST, there is an increase in real estate prices from 8 to 12%, but it is expected that it will not last for the long term. Fourth, GST does not include petrol, due to which the price of petrol always goes in contrary to the principles of the unification of commodities. Fifth, GST has advanced towards the more complex system for the owners of the businesses. Sixth, GST before GST, few retail products have tax up to 4%, but GST has made the clothes and garment further expensive or pricing. Seventh, GST also affected the sector of aviation. Before GST, the service tax on the ticket of the airways range between 6% to 9%, but now they are exceeding and range up to 15%, which is nearly double the tax rate which was imposed by the government earlier. And finally, with the emergence of GST, CGST, and SGST, which substituted the service tax or central excise, VAT, and central sales tax, there was no change in the system of tax. The tax system still consists of many layers. In conclusion, I would like to say that the aim of the government is to bring India in an umbrella of one tax, promoting the one nation, one tax system. Implementation of GST substituted VAT in India. Some sectors show a positive impact while others show a negative impact. Due to a long term benefit scheme, there is less immediate positive impact on Indian society and economy. However, it is expected that there is an expectation of the growth of the Indian gross product. I would also like to add that with the imposition of GST, it is a bit task in a country like India where new changes are not easily accepted. It is a complex system to understand at first, but later it is coming out as a long term benefit for the country. The only thing which is required is to have patience and continuous following of rules and regulations for uplifting the country's economy. With this, I think the topic of impact of GST on the different sectors of economy in India might be clear to you. Thank you.